Episode 175. My name is Meg and I will be your host. You're joining me here on a cooler and cloudy day, which I absolutely love. Filming wise, lighting's good. I like it. And then I have my original mug here. Very excited. And I have the coffee is Bones Coffee Company in Sugar Cookie. It was on sale from like their Christmas. And so I was able to get it and it's very good. I do think since I just was drinking a German coffee, which was very dark, that it tastes watery because perhaps I should have upped the brew strength or less water. So I think maybe I'll just be kind of experimenting with that, but it does feel very weak compared to what I was just drinking. So anyway, 175. In this episode, we're going to be covering a little bit of knitting, a bit of embroidery, and then I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to start a second video, and we're going to go over this giant stack of stuff over here, which is what's in my son's sweater drawer. Ta-da. So we're going to do a little sweater tour of his stuff, but I'm going to make that a separate video so I can kind of spread the love around here. As I said, a lot of embroidery, new to me, so not great, but I am enjoying it. I have a lot of ideas. It kind of started with, well, I've been pinning thread painting for ages because it's gorgeous. Like every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God. And then I happened across a girl on Instagram that is embroidering little icons from books that she's read on her sweater. I think it's called like the book diary or the book embroidery diary or something like that. I'll try to link it down below if you're interested in checking her out. And so I was like, oh, that sounds really fun. I really want to do that. And then I kind of got like rabbit hole for 2 weeks, which we're not surprised. So I got kind of rabbit hole and I went like delve down deep and really started like getting stick and stitch things and trying to plan out my own patterns and what books would I do and blah, 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 blah. Pure chaos. We're not surprised. So let me, oh, and I have some things from Twice Sheared Sheep. I got a little baggie in. I've had their stuff in my to-do list for a very long time because I kept coming across the ads. I am obsessed. I won't say that like you have to go out and buy things, but if you're making a wish list, you're making a Christmas list, a birthday list, I would add these items because they're quite fantastic. So, will you live without them? Of course. There are other ways to do, but if you're looking for gifts for a knitter, or you are a knitter or a crocheter that wants these things, they are also awesome. So let's dive right in. Oh yeah, and new love handle, new love handle. So far, so good. I like it. It's got like octopus tentacles on this, which means, and you stick it. It did fall off the window when I stuck it. I don't know whether that's because these guys are having a hard time with this new heavy phone. I will say that this Apple phone is heavier than my last phone. I don't think it would have been a problem for the previous model of Apple phone, but this one's kind of chunky. Will I give it up? No. Am I irritated it doesn't hold? Yeah. Want it all, obviously, right? Okay. Knitting wise, I have continued to work on Ollie's Ghost Spider sweater. I'm pretty sure I did have the entire body, and I was talking about, yeah, I was talking about this and the armholes and da-da-da. Clearly, no arms yet because I got into embroidery and I went down a very deep rabbit hole. What I did do was start on the hood. I'm slightly modifying my hood pattern that I have the hoodie add-on. So there's going to be some increases and decreases to kind of like shape that back of the head a little bit more in the second version that will be coming out. So as of right now, you can see it has a little bit more and then it'll, right? With those sound effects, right? So still loving it. This length is actually, it's down here. This length is really, really good for him. So, like I'm quite pleased with having figured out like what length he's at. And then I took that idea and I started another sweater. Now I have noticed that he is, he's slim-ish. I mean, he's a toddler, but like he's always just been a bit like more slim than not. Didn't have a lot of like brown fat or baby fat or anything like that as he was growing. And so, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get this on. Silly Meg. Silly Meg, I still have it on needles. It's not gonna fit over there. Though this would be a moment. This would be a moment. Okay, so, adjacent knitting related, I just realized that I had not finished this. Wow, my hands are shaking today. Oh, that's not so fun. Oh, yikes. No wonder I stab myself so often. So these are from Twice Sheer Sheep. This is a stitch holder. So either you could just protect your knitting from running away, which is fantastic when you have small children or dogs or puppies or anybody who really likes to touch your knitting when you're not done with it. But anyway, you basically try to slide it over onto the rubber, and then this can take the needles for you. I will say that it's slightly fiddlier than me putting it onto cords and sliding it because that joins a little bit smoother. This one is going from metal to rubber, and I do find that it's a little bit tougher, so I have to kind of wiggle, like, come on, come here, little squishy. And so I do find that there's more wiggling involved for me. However, so far I have not had them come off. None of the stitches have gotten lost. So when my cords are busy or preoccupied in other ways, or I need to travel with it, I would say that this would be a really great solution. Perhaps I don't have the small enough version. I did get the one that was the medium size. It comes in small, medium, and large, so you can do it for like fingering weight yarn needles, or you could do it for your big chunky ones. But anyway, so there we go. I'm gonna say that that's enough to get it over. And this is the back, which doesn't matter. No, it's even on both sides, but I'm gonna try to make it the back. Oh, good golly molly. What the heckins? Lordy. Whew, okay, so with this, I am using green from Knit Picks Brava. It was in my stash for ages, so I do love this green. Let's see, comparison-wise, I think I am not long enough for Alistair yet. Let me see. Oh God, I'm black on black here. Okay, so there you go. Yep, not quite long enough for him. It needs more ribbing. I really started the ribbing too early on this. Thought I measured it okay, but I guess I did not. I mean, it's not too bad, but anyway. So what I'm gonna do all across here is all of the sports balls. So football, baseball, basketball, tennis are gonna go across here. So then this way, you'll be able to see all of the options on the yoke at one time. I will be duplicate stitching them on, and that way, you know, everybody will be in. Two, this is the smallest size, which should be like a newborn, right? But instead of doing it on 6s and 7s, I upped it to 8. And I am quite a loose knitter, and I'm working with Brava Sport, so it's not worsted, but it's kind of close. It's thicker than the fingering weight sport, you know. It's like a sort of a light DK, I guess. And so I've noticed that, one, I made the smallest size because I was just making it as a prototype for a baby. But as I was doing it, I realized that it kind of fits him already. So, interesting experiment here. That gauge matters, obviously, but gauge matters because I turned the smallest size into my 3-year-old size because he's a slim kid and he really just needs more length rather than more shoulders because he doesn't really have a ton of shoulder yet. So, fascinating experiment, right? So anyway, gotta add arms, gotta finish ribbing. Probably more ribbing than I intended to do if it needs to be that much longer. But the balls will go across the top there. So I'm excited about that. This actually fits him pretty darn cute. So I'm gonna keep going with that. And I think I'm gonna kind of use this as a prototype for a worsted weight sort of sweater. So you would basically be able to have like the base pattern, and then you would get your gauge, you would know what size you need to knit on, and then you would add in the charts that were required at that moment. So all that to say, I think I'll be having a US 8 specific with the sizes that the child will have. So it'll range from like maybe a 2-year-old and up, more than newborn and up. So it'll just kind of like create a bit more of that like older kid sizing, and I'll probably be in like Kohl's and Walmart with a tape measure, making sure that I have whose size is what, and da 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 da. So anyway, working on that, coming along fine. And yeah, that is basically all of the knitting that I did because again, very embroidery heavy on this one. So to like adjacent wise, embroidery that I finished. So I ordered a kit off of, I guess, Amazon, I think. And I got also, there you go, got one of his t-shirts out. And this was my first attempt at thread painting, sort of, and it's not quite done, and I didn't know whether I wanted to fill it all in because the shirt is basically the color of the might be done. I think fill in that little bowl braid there and then I'll be done. But this is a lot of learning curve. So what I started out with was the informational how-tos. So just learning your easy, and then there's a medium, hard, and tough. I did not get to any of those. I just did easy and then went, yeah, that's probably enough. I could do this. As per usual, Meg. So learning wise, this was helpful, at least to get those basic stitches of the flat needle, the back stitch, and then I did the back split. And they call them granulations, but those are French knots, right? So I did that, and then the flat needle wound was also helpful, which is like a woven stitch or something. So after I did this, I came home and I used some of the stick and stitch. So I got like a page like this, and you cut it out, you put it on. This dissolves off of the clothing after you wet it, so you cannot wet it or sticky hands because your design will go away. But I went ahead and got a little dragon out, and this is my first embroidery piece. It's still a little crunchy, and I think that might be because of the stick and stitch that was in there. And then I went ahead and washed it, and perhaps I didn't wash it thoroughly enough. Je ne sais pas. So the back, a lot of skipping around with the stars because they're shorts. So I was able to send my kiddo with a dragon the next day. It was very dopamine having, excitement inducing, definitely like hooked me in. So from there, I outlined the Bulbasaur, and then I was trying to work on this guy, and I didn't like my outline stitches, so then I was trying to figure out what I didn't like about my outline stitches, and then I tried more of like the split back stitch, and that got a little bit better. But it's like my stuff is still a little rough for sure. I'm gonna start making a pile. All right, done. Done. Almost done. Okay, and then these guys should. Oh, so this one made me go. Mommy needs one, right? So this is Ivysaur. So Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and then my husband will be Venusaur. It's so cute. Done? Yeah, pretty much done. Yeah, pretty much done. I actually really was pretty proud of, like, I did a little bit of thread painting to highlight on the edge there, and I like that. I think it worked out well. My leaves are meh, the vines are meh. I like that leaf. That leaf's really cute. I like this one. And the face turned out pretty good. Again, a little crunchy, a little hard, a little firm. Is that because of all of the stitches? Is that because of the tacky that goes on the stick and stitch? Maybe. Has it been washed in the washer yet? No. So it's only about this big. So Bulbasaur is bigger. I could have done it bigger, but I was thinking of filling in all of those large gaps, and I thought maybe smaller would be better. But yeah. So they're very cute. I was wearing it with him the other day, which was super fun. I don't know if he totally, like, he appreciates my craftiness, but I don't know if he totally gets it yet. But he does request a lot of things, usually toys. So, oh, wow. So this one's done. And I need to fully finish that. I hear Chippy. From there, knitting wise, I will go over Twice Your Cheap right now. So you might have seen the working tape measure. Where did I put it? There it is. The working tape measure is on this sweater. So let me take my t-shirt back off. Truly a cool concept. Here it is the working tape measure. So you leave it on here like a charm, and then it says, you know, you need to knit until the ribbing is 2 inches. So then you can just keep checking when your ribbon hits the 2-inch mark, then you know that you're done. Really great for hats when you're doing that brim and you don't have to keep whipping out your tape measure, but it goes all the way out to 13 inches. And it's really light. It doesn't create any, you know, like heaviness on here. And it moves pretty easily, but it is such a cute idea. And I've been using it on this, you know, to measure like how long I've been doing this. And I'm like, this is a great idea. So I've been really enjoying that. So the working tape measure, A+ on that one. Really love it. Speaking of measuring, slap bracelets, slap bracelets, slap bracelets. Can I even? No, I cannot. So this is Twice Your Cheap sock ruler. So what I like about this, it has the sizes of shoe. So you stick it in the toe or the top. So you go down to the heel or up to the heel. I do toe up. So for me, I would stick it in the toe, and then I would knit until it hits, let's see, this is a kid's 11, that's Alistair right there. So I would knit until it hits this, I would put in my heel, and then I would finish the sock from there. Short, medium, long leg. There is a ruler on the back, and the instructions are basically place your sock ruler with an arrow snug against the heel or toe of your sock, and then knit until you reach the line for your desired size, and then begin your toe or heel. Slap bracelets. I mean, the millennial in me, seriously. And it's like my favorite color mint. I love it. I love it so much. So there's the women's, there's men's, and it goes all the way up to a 15, which is fantastic, which means it encompasses my entire family. I think 13 is the highest I have to go to. And then having like a little baby shoulder down here. Oh my God, I love it. 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 And having it right there. Amazing. Third piece, haven't even taken off the tacky on this, so it's peel off. So this is the quick gauge. And you might have seen this previous, if you're like getting commercials for it, which I do. But basically what you do is there it is, you line up your stitches underneath the boxes until each one sits inside, and then you know what gauge exactly you have. So this is 4.5 stitches per inch. Done. So quick gauge, fantastic. I actually really enjoyed being able to like just kind of like wiggle around and be like, ah, there it is. So that was really nice. And I think it's great for designing too, because you can really get a very good, yeah, perfect. They're right in there. 4.5 stitches. So obsessed. This is my honeymoon golden cow. I love it so much. I'll go over more of those later, but so obsessed. And then the cords were the last bit. The cords. So there it is. The cords, the last bit. And yeah. Thank you, Dawn. This was amazing. So I'm so excited that I got to work with these already, and the quick gauge is probably going to be one of the best things for me as a shop designer. But personally, the sock ruler and the working measure, I think, are going to be my two most used. Now, were there many other things that were very adorable and I could have gotten? Yes, but my number one would probably be the gauge, because that will affect your entire sweater. Two, if you're a sock knitter, this one. So good. And then I like the cords. I still feel like sometimes it's smoother for me to put in the chiagus, but they're easy to carry. They're interchangeable for like multiple size needles in the medium, so that's all really good. But yeah, so obsessed. From there, I think I only have like a little bit more. Yeah, so that's that. Which, piles on piles. This is the stuff that I've gotten or printed. So we've got jellies, got bees and moms, a lot of book dragons, which I'm definitely gonna do. And the book sweatshirt, I just gotta pick which one. Could be multiple. Yeah, doubles, there's doubles in there. Oh yeah, the big ones. There's some in here. Oh my God, so pretty. Yeah, which like for me look a bit complicated for what I wanna do. So I feel like I need to learn more before I can use all of the ones that I want. What I have done is I grabbed my stitch marker box and I went ahead and organized, which is like rare for me, right? And then, so what's in my box? So I have the colors, and then in here I have needles, the scissors are in here, and then this is the working puddle that I'm working with right now, and then as I finish it goes back in. My needle is tucked in there right now, but I do want to like get a little needle minder for that, and then I've been kind of like cutting and saving the next up for things that I want to do. I love rainbows. And I love it when they all go together. I have like a little like Vogue Knitting Live sticker. I think it says, these are from friends, these are from Bones, Knock Around Me Love. This is from, I think Vogue Knitting Live. This one was also there. this was another friend, this was another friend. So yeah, it's just been, it's been really nice. I do love a rainbow, and I love how everything's going right there. And then I'm gonna end up putting everything in this bag so I can keep it together and out of the chaos. From there, I finished quite a few gifts. So, this is mine. So this was not my first one. My first one is MIA right now. I'll find it. I think I put it in the wash, but I liked how this one came out more. So this was pretty cute. And then, because who needs a match, I tried a dragon on that one, and I like how it came out. So there we go. I made baby dragons for Alistair. This one looks a little better when it's stretched because the moon comes out nicer when it's like on a foot. These are okay dragons. I liked how this one came out more, I think. I think it's a little more muddled, and they're quite tiny. That could be part of my issue. From there, we have the baby bibs. So I've got friends that have babies coming. So I've got a little bee, just cute. The elephant, the lion, the fox, and this is the back. Crocodile, alligator. The butterflies. They turned out pretty cute. This one, it's a little snail. I tried to make a flower. This is not my best, but it is cute. This one I really liked. Little moon, stars, and a cloud. And not too bad on the back. And then last night I started, so I have my book sweatshirt is going to be the bookish, right? So I thought that that would be perfect because it's bookish, right? But then I was looking at this, it's just like ironed on whatever crap stuff. And it's like, I should make it more interesting. So I started with like just trying to embroider on the letter, but I'm having such jagged edges. I think maybe, I mean, is it practice? Is it repetition? Is it outlining? Like, what am I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm having such a hard time getting it to look like it looks smooth like in one little spot, and then it's like crazy again. And this is not good over here. And I'm having a hard time because like clearly I would just go out, 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 out for O, but like these corners are like huge. So do I go diagonally? Do I do the whole thing across this way and then pick up this direction? Is there anybody else that wants to, you know, weigh in on this? Because I am definitely listening. But, so blue, indigo, violet, red, orange, yellow, green. Doing a rainbow, but I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit. So I am starting with my favorite blues. It's my TARDIS blue from my wedding. But I just like wish it was a little bit cleaner. An outline stitch might just help, but I've been trying to Google and all the letters that I see are not the font that this is. And so it's not exactly helping. But yeah, I'm having a really good time. And then the dragon books, I'm thinking of starting like dragon book up here, and then I'm gonna start, she has on the sleeves, she has her icons. So I was gonna have Lost in a Book, which is a Beauty and the Beast derivative, which I absolutely love. I wanted to do Lockwood and Co., Sherlock with the little pipe. I absolutely love Pride and Prejudice. What will we do for Pride and Prejudice? I've been having a hard time. Like, a lot of times I see like a Jane Austen silhouette, but like Pride and Prejudice, like what would you pull from that book? What would be your memory from that book? Like the rain scene is iconic from the movie, but I'm having a hard time. Yeah. And I've read it multiple times, which is why it definitely goes on the sweatshirt. For the Hobbit, I'm going to do the runes on the door, or Smog over the Lonely Mountain. Perhaps both. And then I will want to finish Fourth Wing before I embroider something Fourth Wing on this. I will say that. I have not finished Fourth Wing yet, but I will. I'm very into fan fiction right now. I'm reading Amor Vincent Amina right now. And so I really want to finish that one before. You know what? I'll probably finish Fourth Wing because I have it on audiobook, and embroidery requires that I look at it or I get stabbed a lot. I have so many stab marks in the back of my fingers here. Because I like miss it by a millimeter and I stab myself instead. So, yeah. I want to finish that. And then each of the Lockwoods would have a different thing for the cover. So I think that could be really cool. Like the Skull in the Jar, the Hollow Boy, the Screaming Staircase, the Dagger in the Desk, which is a short story. If you haven't read it yet, it's very good. So I have a lot to read and a lot to do, and a lot to clean in the house, of course, because somehow it always comes back, right? But I think, oh yeah, I just set this up. Embroidery hoop holder. So you boop your, I think I actually, yeah, this is not right. I have to loosen this again, but you would undo this. This opens up, you stick your embroidery hoop in, you close it again. Now that holds that, you put this under your leg, and then it's here, and so you don't have to physically hold it while you do. You can just work on it. For stitches that require like holding the yarn while, it's good for that. I have noticed that this shoulder has been really sore and I have a knot back here. And I have a feeling that it has to do with punching through thick fabric like these guys, which, do I regret these gifts? No, they're adorable. I'm very excited. However, I'm in pain. And the socks are much easier to sew through. They don't require a lot of punching, I will say that. These just turned out so cute. I'm so excited to like run around with these on. My other one, oh yeah, I'm so excited to run around with those on. I think this one turned out really, really nice. I sat with my friend Becky. We just had like a day, and I was crafting while we were catching up, and it was so nice. I got to see our new home, and it's just really good. But yeah, got an MRI. MRI is stable, no new lesions. So she does persist. What else? Yeah, I got mammoth bracelets too. But I really do want to start my bookish. I do like the embroidery in the sense that it's a bit of a quicker turnaround than knitting. I think that's also why the duplicate stitch has been really interesting to me, because I've been able to like do one part of a pattern and get to see it and see how it looks. But I'm gonna pause, have some lunch break, and then I'll go through the sweater basket, and we'll just take a quick look at stuff. And if you've not gone through my sweaters and you want to see them live, let's do it. So yeah, from there, reminding you to take it one cup at a time, no matter how large that cup may be, and I will see you soon.